What's good, fellow Dashers? It's your boy Drytail. So, creating in Geometry Dash has been around for a long time. Ever since people could upload levels and use the level editor, people have been editing their levels to the Geometry Dash servers for people to play. And ever since star ratings were given to levels worthy of a star rating, creators have been changing their style and improving their style as well. Of course, as with creating in anything, mass production had to lower the quality to get stuff out fast. And what I'm going to talk about today is the opposite of that. It's levels that are mass produced, yet don't take that long really, and just have a huge amount of design. Back when creating first became a thing, you didn't really have that much design in your blocks, in your structures. It was mostly just color changing and maybe some mild effects, and very rarely art. But back then, art was very primitive. Same with design. It was barely any design really. And effects were also very primitive. These days, creators put a lot of objects into their block design, into their ground spike design. Every object, the background, the structures, the blocks, the spikes, the air, anything. If it can be anything in the level, is going to be designed heavily these days, with how high the bar for creating is. And creators are going about improving the quality of their levels wrong, with putting a lot of non-visible detail into their designs that barely make any visual difference, and you have to use a lot of different objects and a lot of the same object in low opacities, you paired with glow to be able to get the effect desired. But at some point, this extra detail is just an excuse for the level to take longer, and for the creators to say, yeah, I put more effort into my level. Don't call my level low effort, you pleb. And this is where I think it's gone wrong. You see, creators these days have mastered backgrounds. Well, creators these days have mastered what they want to do. And they can improve their levels by going to master other skills in other categories of decoration. Like, say a design creator has nowhere to go after improving his designs so much. He either goes the route of using multiple of a certain object to create subtle visual changes, and then using an assortment of subtle visual changes to get a desired effect after about 2 months. Or he could go to master art and effects on top of the design. And with how the Geometry Dash editor is, and the amount of objects you're given, and with the scaling of the given circle stuff, and whatever, with like a sun, you want to create a sun. Scaling up a circle is going to make it look all grainy and yucky, which is object efficient but doesn't look great. But if you want it to look good, then you're using a hell lot of objects. Same with planets. Same with planet art and space art. It's you'll have to use the squares that you can pass through, and smaller squares, and then the semicircles, and then a lot of glow for the shading. This is just so object inefficient with how the editor works and the desired effect that creators want to make, because you don't want your stuff to look grainy, do you? No, you don't. So what I suggest creators do is mastering the 3 distinct disciplines of creating, and try to make those effects, designs, visual changes as object efficient as they can, because the way they're doing it right now, it's just way too object inefficient. Creators have to understand that there are people on crappy phones, like mine right now. It's only 2 gigs of RAM. 2 gigs of RAM from 2017 on Android 8.1 for $200 on a Snapdragon 625 with an Adreno 506. This is a mid-range phone from 3 years ago. It's old and it's mid-range. It is not a flagship. It is not new. I can barely play any levels without lag, and a lot of levels that have recently come out, apart from Jonathan GD's low detail modes, which are a wholesale object reduction. The low detail modes in levels these days just do not reduce objects enough for people using a phone like me, using a phone like mine, to be able to play smoothly without creating the own low detail mode. And creators would say, then just create your own low detail mode. We wouldn't get the stars or the coins unless we record it and unless we stream or record it for proof, and then we no clip it. But even then, that is not the ideal way to go about things for getting the stars and coins. And that's a pretty bastard move to basically require that anybody who wants to beat your level for the coins and the stars and the orbs has to be on a flagship phone or a decent laptop using the Steam version at least, which just no. That's not how you get an audience on your level. That's not how you get more downloads. Though I feel like people like me with a crappy phone just don't speak up enough, I feel like, which is also a big problem, which is also a big part of this problem. People with crappy phones or crappy laptops, you need to make your voice heard so that you can get the stars if you care about getting the stars. And yeah, if it's not an extreme demon, usually the beating it legit in a proven video or stream, and then no clipping it, usually that is only passable on extreme demons. This is just not acceptable to me. So creators need to find a way to make their levels more object efficient. And this is where it ties into the next section of this video, which is stuff I want to see, changes I want to see in the editor so that creators can be more object efficient with creating effects, and creating effects and art actually be easier, because then we can be object efficient. I feel like. So I know that RobTop is working on 2.2. He's busy. He's probably procrastinating. I don't know. But he has enough stuff to do for 2.0 anyway. So for 2.3, for version update 2.3, or maybe 2.21, I don't know. Whichever is after update 2.2. Major update after 2.2. I want to see less grainy scaling. The way scaling in Geometry Dash works is the kind that makes it grainy, that shows the grainy textures and the borders of, and the soft borders, which doesn't look very good. So a scaling that retains the same look but doesn't make the end product look grainy. Also a scale further than 2. I think RobTop is changing the scale trigger, or it could be a different scale trigger. I'm not sure, but something that would allow us to make objects bigger than just twice the size, and also not be the grainy scaling up method. And then linking objects together into just one sprite, essentially. Like custom objects. You can have them linked, or you can have them unlinked. Linked would, if the custom object has all of the objects making it up. Linked, it would just be one sprite, one interactive thing, with the properties on different parts with a map. I don't know. And then once you unlink it, it separates out. And then just in general, more objects to easily create the effects and art that creators are making right now in general. And then trigger fixes, I hope that's coming in 2.2. But basically more objects that can make effects, design, visual changes, and art much easier to create, and with objects used. So yeah, that is my stance on the change in creator style these days. If you enjoyed this video or agree with me, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss my next upload. If you want to see something from me, tell me in the comments down below. See you guys next video. Peace.